Good episode of Two Smooth Operators, the only podcast about gate operator life
About that life, dog.
for technicians. Your hosts, Michael Brooks and Robert Evers. Stay tuned for another great episode. Oh, yeah, baby. Two Smooth Operators
Oh,
live.
man, I was surprised how much in Texas people go, "Oh yeah, I saw y'all on TV." Just
I
like
know we're famous TV guys now.
I tell you, man, the millions and millions of viewers out there, we got to thank every one of them.
I know we do. Yeah, yeah. We thank everybody that watches our podcast, and we appreciate it.
Yeah, man. At the end of the day, it's something fun for us to do, and it is something that hopefully you can learn some of what to do and some of what not to do. As two individual business owners in the gate and the fence business,
Yeah.
I think we offer a unique perspective of what's going on.
Oh yeah. Information, baby.
Got to get that information. You also got to get your phone plugged in and turned off as well too, so nobody's calling you asking you, "Hey man, my photo eye won't work. Hey, can you come out and fix my garage door opener?"
No.
Yeah, man.
Call the garage door guy.
I guess LiftMaster on their dealer program. I've asked them to take me off of it a couple of times, um, for a number of reasons, but just from a
Yeah.
practical standpoint, people I get phone calls all the time. Just come
Well,
out.
see, on one of my a few probably about 10 years ago, I did some garage door services, and somehow it got put on my website, and it's still on there, but nobody really calls me about that every now and then. But
Well, my thought process was, and I get it a lot backwards these days, training a lot of garage door technicians to get into automatic gates,
yeah.
basically because the hourly rates are double.
Hmm.
Granted, the pain in the butt factor sometimes can be double because of the uniqueness of all the gate operators and stuff, or or uniqueness of all the facilities and all that stuff. But
Yeah.
the thing is I wanted to at one point in time put garage doors into my can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I hear you fine.
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry, I
Yeah.
just now realized I ain't got my big monitor on to make sure that we're doing okay on the live stuff. But anyways, I what I did is I had a good strategic partner in the garage door business. And what I did
Hmm.
is I offered as part of my scheduled service for like I don't know, it was like another $50 or something like that per quarterly visit that I would program any extra remotes that they have. I would
Hmm.
replace any batteries that they had, which turned out to be not the battery part didn't turn out to be a very good idea because you have to have brand new batteries on you at all the times for all the different gate operator remotes. And then I would just lubricate the wheels, lubricate the weather strip,
Yeah.
um, lubricate chain. And anyways, it just became a hassle because then it was like, well, can you fix this? And then it was like, well, no, I don't really fix them, but here's somebody that can. And that really didn't work out because they were expecting
Yeah.
the same quality of service that I gave as well too.
Yeah.
So,
I'll tell you
anyways,
what, the garage doors, you got to really hustle to do those because you got to do one right after another with them. Bam, 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 bam.
yeah, and it's a lot of competition. I mean, there are people just
Yeah.
out there buying, garage store fortworth.com, so on and so forth, and they all point back to the
Yeah.
same company. And quite a few times they're not pointing to a company that's even local. They're just getting the leads and then turning them over to a local company,
Yeah.
or they're all filtered back to one of their local companies, but they're or one of the local
Well,
installers that they either own or have a partnership with. But anyways, what are you gonna do?
I'll tell you another perspective. I was in Lowe's in another nearby by town where I live at in Whiteville, North Carolina, and I saw a garage door truck in the parking lot. And I always make an effort to go talk to some of those guys. And they were out of another town about 60 miles away in Wilmington, North Carolina. And I was like, why are you so far from Wilmington? He said, well, most of our work is outside of Wilmington because they've been in business for like 50 years or something like that. And they're
Yeah.
like, a lot of, they've built up this clientele where a lot of the stuff they're working on is outside of a 60-mile radius. So it's kind of cool to, you run across different stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's surprising. I've had a couple people run into me in the Dallas Fort Worth market, North Texas market, and like, hey, I see you do gate operators that are doing garage doors and gate operators and access control. But yeah, I kind of do the same thing too. And actually, it's turned in maybe one out of 20 or 30 times. They've turned into good lead generation for me. So
Mm.
yeah, I would highly recommend doing that. So but I'm not getting in the garage door business anytime
Me
soon.
neither. I'm not set up to do it. You got to be set up to do that. I'm more of a fence company and a gate operator. I'm set up to do gate operators. I got what I need for stock for that and what I need to operate the fence inside. Got some things stocked up for that. And then having garage door stuff stocked up, that would be even 10 times the more workload that I need on my company.
Yeah, yeah. The way that these boards are going with UL, you're starting where you used to carry just one board for the whole product line. Now you're carrying, you know, for Patriot for US Automatic, you used to just carry one board. Now it's three separate boards that I got to carry, just for Patriot.
Yeah.
So yeah, it gets expensive pretty damn quick.
Oh, yeah. It costs money to be in business. I mean, that's what we're constantly keeping up with every day. Getting jobs done, getting them done on time. When they're not getting done on time, we're deducting what we're losing. So
Yeah, I have.
you got to have a perspective of a well-rounded mind, know what's going on in your business.
Yeah, I haven't kept up with these tariffs and stuff like that, considering the installation part, as of right now, is actually through other people. So I
Yeah.
haven't. I have a little
What?
bit insight in dealer pricing, but not
Yeah.
directly with the tariffs. And
Well, the
people are complaining
tariffs
about it.
is like between a 15-25% increase on materials that's coming in from um, imports, and then the manufacturers in America or whatever distributors, whatever you want to call them, they're adding a 10-15%. Some of them, and some of them's a 25%, but the majority is 15% by March 14th or something like that. Uh, That's what I heard. So that's what's this week coming up. So prices are going to go up this week
So
on
you
a lot of
guys
stuff.
do me a favor and do Robert and I a favor. Put your opinions on the tariffs, and then also put what you guys are seeing down in the comments, so you guys can help other people understand what's going on. I'm not educated enough to really talk about it, other
Yeah.
than opinion stuff. Um, and then the other thing I would be curious to see. I was talking to somebody that works for a distributor this last Thursday, and I was telling him that it's the tariffs going up, and then let's say that they get rolled back or canceled. If you somehow don't see a severe drop in sales, and you think that manufacturers are and distributors and dealers are automatically going to roll those prices all the way back to reflect that they just had people paying 25% extra, even though it was a line item for a tariff. Now they're like, okay, well, they're paying for that now. You think they're just going to go ahead and cut 25% off, or you just think they're going to keep their prices higher? My
No,
opinion is they're going to keep their prices higher, even though
mm,
there's no line item for tariffs. That's just my opinion. Now, whether it's the full
that's not mine.
25% or whatever, I have no
Yeah.
idea. But I learned that lesson a long time ago when one of these manufacturers, they started selling the boards their control boards really inexpensive, for a short period of time, whether it was to liquidate stock or whatever, and they saw that the prices or that people their sales were increasing, people were buying them, and they immediately doubled their prices within just a few months because they
Yeah.
were like, well, if they're going to pay that, then let's see what they would still pay before, and they kept their prices at where they were. I don't think people weren't going to go back down as easy as just going, oh, there's a line item, let's just go ahead and take that
Yeah.
back off and put our
Well,
price the way it was.
they're pushing the price up before things are happening. That was the complaint on Facebook. They were like, all these prices are going up. That's in their stockyard right now. Well, they're preparing for it. So,
Well, yeah,
but
but if the part of the argument is that it's a line item increase, then there should be no reason to increase the materials that you already have in your yard
yeah.
on the boat or on will call for somebody.
Well,
Now that's
they're
my opinion.
building up buying power when they do that, though.
Okay, cool. Well, I
Because
know that I'm not.
if it's going up, they gotta have the money to buy the next item. So that's why they got to go up a couple weeks before the tariffs come up.
Okay. All right. Well, I think somebody else was explaining it to me, something similar. Like that's going to be part of the deal. But anyways, at the end of the day, I'd be curious to see how it all affects the economy. Um, but we're
Well,
lucky
yeah,
that I don't know about the environment that you have. It sounds like that sometimes you do have a hard time for people paying that top dollar for
oh yeah,
installation. So,
yeah.
so it may affect you more than it does. For instance, the market that I was in, Dallas Fort
Yeah,
Worth. I
yeah.
hate to be one of those. Oh well, remember when I was back in Dallas Fort Worth? Well, I may be back in Dallas Fort Worth or North Texas at some point in time, and that's the only reason why I bring it up. It's not I'm not trying to do the old remember
Well,
when things were good type speech.
and also when things start going up like this is not the first time we've experienced this, and the prices went up and the prices went back down. Back in
So
2008 and set
so
back went in 2010. So
okay,
we experienced that. We've seen that happen. And now the prices
but we
hasn't gone back down since the COVID days. You
now
know,
that's what I was going to say
yeah,
is that you didn't see any of those prices come back once the manufacturing stabilized, distribution stabilized, and shipping stabilized. I mean, there
yeah,
was points in times where the material inside the container was less than the shipping for the container. You could buy the container, buy all the materials in it, and the cost of shipping overnight went up hundreds of percent. So, but they never came back down. You know who I'm talking about too. None of those manufacturers that were going up 6 and 10 and 12, 15%, some of them quarter after quarter, none of
yeah.
those guys came back down. So if you think
Oh,
that
yeah,
this is going to be just as easy as snapping their finger, but then again, Robert, like I said, I'm not educated enough on the tariffs to know. It
yeah.
just seems to me that the tariffs are uh, what we pay, so inherently it's what the bottom line is going to it's going to the bottom line is going to affect our purchase price as opposed to hitting
Okay, yeah.
some third
It's
party.
definitely going to do that. It's going to make everything go up. Everything's already going up. Canada's throwing the liquor off the shelf of American liquor, and groceries are more expensive. That's getting imported from Mexico. And, it's just um, a game that's being played to make the score even for somehow for money to be spent or capture some type of money in with the tariffs for the government. I don't know everything about it, but um, I don't particularly like it. But you know what's weird about this though? Um, China sends over these gates and fencing, iron ornamental
Uh huh.
gates and fencing. They send over these little um machines, like a little traco. You can buy it for like 4 grand. You can buy a mini skid steer for 4 grand. And the one that I paid for, I paid $28,000 for it at the time that we bought it. And then They got all this stuff coming over here in these containers that are that would I see they sell a gate on the Facebook marketplace for $1,200. We'll say, well, that gate would cost me manufactured a better gate, aluminum welded gate, powder coated, would cost me around 4,000 to 4,500 range, somewhere around there. And they sell these gates on the internet for $1,200, $1,400, and there's no warranty on them. Um, uh,
Yeah,
you don't even pay taxes on them.
yeah, I
So
think that's.
how's that fair?
I don't know about fair. I go back to this a lot of times, although because I'm online so much, people don't hear this. If I was the manufacturer, or if I was the distributor, or a dealer, or a wholesaler, I would be doing everything that I could to get a strategic advantage over my competition. So I think you've disagreed with me before about this. Um, and hey, Alpha Security, I think I know who you are, Itali. If you're wanting to get on via the camera, let us know. But I see that you're in the thing. Just turn your camera on, and I'll
Yeah.
get you on. So, uh, I'm not qualified enough to talk about the tariffs. However, I do know a little bit about unique selling propositions and strategic advantage over your customer. And everything that I want to do is all unfair. None of it is fair. I
Yeah,
want to
nothing's
use,
fair.
yeah, right. I want to use
Yeah.
every contact, every relationship, every high school buddy, all of that stuff that I have. And when the accountant comes to check to see whether you've made a profit or a loss, he's not going to ask you any questions
Yeah.
like, oh, was this your buddy that you got the deal from? Or where did you get this lead from? Now, there's a difference between unfair and unethical. Unethical is a whole different story because ethics, obviously, using insider information. Oh, this manufacturer is about to go out of business, and I heard it through this, and the information's not public. That's a completely
Mhm.
different story. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about an unfair advantage with your unique selling proposition, and that's what I
Yeah.
want every single time. So why would I complain about the guy who makes the chips, builds the boards, builds the gate operators, builds the housing, owns the manufacturing, owns the distributor, and now it gets into installation, which a lot of people have disagreed with me on that that's the path that it's going. But in every electromechanical business, that's exactly how it goes. The guy who makes the integrated circuit to the guy who installs it is the whole chain is owned by one company. And that's the way I think it's going to go. And why would I complain about that? Well, the only reason why I would complain about it and say that it's unfair is because I'm not the guy that's doing it. So I'm all for unfairness. I'm just not
Mhm.
for unethicalness or
Well,
lying to your customers.
what I don't like about this stuff that they're doing on Facebook Marketplace is just, you know, it's a manufactured product. It's not like you were buying something used, like you're supposed to do off of Facebook Marketplace. So you're buying something that's been manufactured, shipped over, and I put some of this stuff up, so I've been around it, and it's just kind of weird, Just you can get it real cheap, a lot cheaper than what you can get aluminum estate fencing for. Um, but the quality is not as good. But people are buying it, and I'm not putting it up every day. I've done a couple jobs with it, but it's just funny how that can go on right under our noses. And I'm talking about they're selling a lot of this stuff. This is a lot coming in. And then if you go to these auctions, you can buy them and bring them back to your house, and then go on your Facebook Marketplace and sell them, outright. So it's kind of weird the way that's going on,
Well,
because you're a
this
fence company and you're paying top dollar for good stuff, and then you got to pass that price on to a customer. And then you see
I,
this gate for $1,200. You're like, maybe I need to buy that thing and sell it to my customer for 5,000.
hey
So
man, and maybe that's it, but at the end of the day, um, if I'm going to sit here and complain about Chinese, excuse me, manufacturing, and then I'm going to buy a new one of these every six
Yeah.
months or a year,
Hmm.
I mean, do you
Yeah.
really get the opportunity to have a valid complaint? All I want is when this company says that they're not going to sell my data, then don't sell my data. But if you are, then let
Yeah.
me know that you are. Of course, they do let you know that they are, um, regardless of
Yeah.
whether the government's tracking you or not. That's a whole different story. But the point
Are they
being is,
tracking us?
they always tracking us, man. They're recording everything that we're doing.
Hey, government.
Hey, yeah, hey, government, FBI, don't you be watching me. So,
Mm.
anyways, but I have an agreement with them. And you know what? If they make a better product that helps me be more profitable and they're not doing anything immoral or unethical relative to, general knowledge, I mean, at what point do we go, oh, well, I'm not going to buy any Chinese goods? And if you remember back in late 90s, mid 90s, late 90s, there was this whole big movement to buy American. And you know what?
Yeah.
I would rather have a Honda Civic than a fucking Chevrolet Cavalier. What are than a Chevy
Cavalier.
pickup truck of the same year, right?
Yeah.
So don't try to tell me that me breaking down on the way to work or having to buy a
Oh
new
no.
engine at 60,000 miles,
Shoot,
that
I had a
that's the
19.
American way.
I had a 99 Silverado, man. That thing was badass.
Yeah, well, I had a '89 C 2500 paid 3 grand for it, and everybody could work on it. I didn't have to go
Yeah.
if I wanted a new CPU for it. I could go right down to Auto
Yeah.
O'Reilly's and buy it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you look at a brand new Jeep today and see if you can get 40 or 50,000 miles out of that engine. There is just, you're not going to tell me that a Japanese manufacturer is worse than American manufacturing.
Well, you look
I'll
at
take
the little beaver auger or generator. The best 5 horsepower, 8 horsepower motor to me is Honda.
all Hondas,
You
right?
can't beat them, man. I mean, I've had one for 20 years. I got one that I've never cleaned the carburetor on. You crank right up. And I don't like Briggs and Strat. I'm not a big fan of that motor. But that
Uh,
Honda, I got a air compressor with the Honda motor on it that my dad bought when I first got into business with him back in 2000, and it's still running today.
so how do we separate that? How do we go? Anytime that you talk to anybody about a walk behind saw, about a compressor, about a generator, and everybody is going to tell you to buy a red Honda engine, right?
Yeah,
That's
I
it.
mean,
No ifs, ands, or buts. So how do we
yeah,
go from I'm not going to buy anything foreign to all I buy and this one thing is all foreign? So how do you
yeah,
justify that?
yeah.
It's the same thing buying it on
It
marketplace.
it's
Ah, so what?
crazy. But the
Yeah.
thing about the Honda engine, you're paying a market value for it. It's not cheap, and it's going through legit processes. Is about that Honda engine. It's going through legit processes. That one that I'm talking about is going through kind of like a black market process. It's
Maybe
different.
it is. I mean, what's if so? First of all, we can't deal with what's going on over in China because over in China the rules are completely different. It's not against the law for a Chinese company to defraud an American company in China. International laws
Yeah.
may be different. United
I
States
don't
laws may
know.
be different,
It's
and
just
so on.
kind of interesting to find out.
Yeah,
How's
well,
that possible?
hey, if anybody out there knows somebody that knows more about these tariffs and international laws and all that stuff, if you've got some contact for us, we sure would like it because it sounds like it's
Yeah.
something that we both need to be educated on. But anyways, getting past that, me personally, at the end of the day, I mean, all the stuff that we're buying is, the Patriots may be the only thing that I can think of where the boards are manufactured in the United States.
Yeah.
The arm is manufactured in Chicago, and then to the best of my knowledge, all Door King stuff is manufactured here in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I wonder about some of the other ones. So, anyways, At the yeah, Itali. Here we go. There's my buddy. Yep. Go ahead and join, Itali.
What's this
Just
comment? Read that comment
so
when
it
you get
says
a
just
chance.
tuning in. You guys are right. Residential went down tremendously since COVID price hikes. Just this is just going to make it worse. So
Yeah, exactly
there's
what
a
we've been talking about.
well, I'm just saying that they weren't
On
excited to move. I did you ever see any manufacturer lower their price after COVID? I mean, like I know the only reason why I would think of it is because they would make a big deal out of it,
I
right?
think they did lower them down a little bit. And when the COVID first hit, things went up high when the demand, and I think they went down just a tiny fraction. I don't know exactly what, but you know, I mean, I'm not 100% on that.
Yeah.
But you know, who knows what they're gonna do? Yeah,
So
you
this
can join.
you can join. I just put the link down right below the comments, so
All
on
you got to
Facebook
do
and
is
YouTube.
hit the
So
link at the bottom of it.
and come on in. Just make sure you're freaking in a place that's quiet, or Robert will come to your house and beat you up. So
I'm a sound engineer, man, so you got to have it right.
is
No,
it that's like the number one argument that we have at the beginning of each one of
man,
these?
where I was at last night, it was the perfect place to play. I mean, it was a nice. It was upstairs in this nice big restaurant, and it had a nice stage, had curtains all the way around the stage. I mean, it was the front of it was round, and it
Oh
was
yeah.
perfect,
What'd
perfect.
you do? Run sound or
Y-
karaoke?
Run sound for the pink slips.
Oh yeah. How'd that go?
Went great.
If
Went good.
anybody else wants to join, just click the link on the in the description, and if you can't find it, put it in the comments, and then I'll update it again. But yeah, the um, the tariffs are probably out of my realm. The only
I,
way that I
you
look at
know,
it,
look, you only the strong survive. So what's going to happen? These weaker businesses are going to go down. They're going out. These guys are not managing or not even managing that they won't survive. You know,
and are
I've
you
seen
talking
this
about
time
installers?
after time after time.
Are you talking about
Any
installers?
business, installers, businesses, small businesses that don't have the money to survive will go out.
Fair
Guaranteed.
enough. So,
And then you know how many businesses are getting, or there you got a lot of businesses going to be getting older, and then people are going to retire. Then them businesses are closing down.
yeah.
I've seen one, two, about three fence companies close down in my area.
Well, I know there's a movement, and I'm not saying that's right or wrong. I operate debt free other than, taxes and whatever, like, my phone bill, all that stuff where they advance you the service. No, my phone bill's paid in advance. Just anywhere where they're advancing you the service and then you pay 30 days later. But all my distributors, none of those guys I have credit with. I pay all that as I go. Uh,
Yeah, we do credit with ours.
all right, so the link is in the description, the YouTube or Facebook description. And Itali, you were already on here once, so you should have that link. I saw you in there. It said ASAG. So, anyways, this is one of the students that took
Cool.
it. It's the studio. Look for this link right here. It's in the description.
Yep,
So,
there you go.
anyways, yeah, and maybe that is capitalism, and people that had such a hard time with the bailouts, right?
Yeah,
Where the bailouts went to 90. Hey, what's up, James? The bailouts went to um, the bailouts
even
went to 90% of it went to 10% of the people. and all they did is use it to buy stock back as opposed to
Mm-hmm.
reinvest that money. Which that's what the guys was. We are
Yeah.
putting the money back into buying stock so we can reinvest and buy the stock
Mm-hmm.
at a lower price. It seems like it's all a scam to me. It's kind of like that Bud Light. Remember when they had that transgender chick that was on one of the
Yeah,
series
yeah.
of beer cans, and Bud Light
Mm-hmm.
went down overnight? I was like, this is an awesome strategic play because
Yeah.
anybody on the inside of the Anheuser-Busch company or anybody like that that was wanting to crash that stock so they could buy more, this is one of the ways to do it, and they'll never be blamed for it. They bought something
Mm-hmm.
that was worth $58 or something like that for 12, 13, 14, and $16. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
a couple guys probably got fired from that, but not the guys that bought the stock. They just went to
Yeah.
town and bought as much as they could. So yeah, only the strong survive.
This, and I'm gonna tell you something. You know, you can make a mistake, and in my business, and we can go out anytime. You just don't know. It's just you got to be careful what you do. Build your program the best way possible. Have your business plan. Stick to it, and make adjustments as you need to, because you're gonna have to do that. And if you're working out of your truck and you doing low ball pricing, you won't survive. And then if you're not doing quality work and you're not getting payments on time and you're not getting your jobs done on time, you won't survive either.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of different way. There's a few different ways to play that, and you can do what some people in the fence business and gate business call service debt, and that means that you're borrowing money to run the company.
No, you don't
And
want to do that.
these are the times that are going to prove that model right or wrong.
Yeah.
We've gone through Biden, and I haven't looked at it recently through Trump. I'll look at it right now. Um, Through Biden, we hit stock market record after stock market record after stock market record. You don't have that without a correction at some point. Now, the good thing is
Yeah.
if nobody's actually pulling all their money out of the stock market tomorrow, it really doesn't matter. It's actually smart to keep buying. But the issue is the perception of other companies that have to have quarterly meetings and all this. Them going, you know what, your credit line was $100,000, but we're going to have to pull that back. We got to come back
Yeah.
to 50,000 or 20,000. But and they're looking at the numbers. They know that you have $50,000 money that you owe them. So if you had $100,000 before thinking you had a $50,000 cushion, they're going to pull that back to 50 grand. And there's nothing saying that in those agreements, just like on your mortgage, they can call that debt anytime that they want, which
Oh
basically
yeah.
means they can go after your
Yeah.
assets and all that good stuff. Now, again, we're getting a
Fortunately, I
little
don't have
bit
to
out
worry
of
about
my
that.
depth, but what's that? New York Stock Exchange. So, by the way, anybody that wants to jump on, I see we got a couple people watching. Bless you.
Excuse me.
Don't forget to mute your microphone.
I
Jesus, man.
forgot to.
You got COVID?
No,
You just had it though, didn't you?
I had yeah when got off the cruise, man. I called it.
Yeah, I'm not trying to put your business out there,
I
but
don't care about that. It weren't that bad. I mean, shit. COVID's over with, really.
I thought you uh I thought you had posted it public anyway.
Oh yeah, I
So,
probably did. My wife did at least.
oh yeah,
I ain't
she's
got to worry about. She'll post everything wrong with me. Pray for Robert.
pray for. Oh yeah, that's what we need to do that anyway.
Pat. Yeah.
So So the New York
But
Stock Exchange Composite back in April of last year was whatever $17,857, and now it's $1,000 more, so that's gone up 6%. I mean that's half of what the S&P 500 does. So the point of all that is we've gone from August. And that actually it was lower than that in August. It was 17,561, and now it's a little bit more than $1,000 in that. You're telling me you're not going to have a big correction after just years and years and years of gains? I mean, this that'll wipe somebody out quick. I mean, just look at the last 5 years. It was 9,000 back in 2001, and it's doubled just in 10 years. So that means that's probably about 15, 16% over 5 years, maybe even more than that. So, anyways, the point being is that if you're out there servicing debt, how are you going to be able to correct that that quick? LOL.
You got to rob Peter to pay Paul, man.
That's all you could do. And if Peter comes back and says, "Hey, man, all that money I let you borrow, I want it back now. You better
I'm
have a
sorry,
bunch of
man. I'm going bankrupt, buddy.
it." Yeah,
Chapter
that's it,
9,
right?
chapter 11, whatever you do. You know, it's tough, man. The strong survive. The longer the older your business is, the most likely you'll survive. The younger your business, which I might be wrong to, the younger businesses, you know, depends on how they're ran, won't survive most likely. It just depends on what you got, what you're doing. Um, how's your business models working out for you? Are you profitable? I think a lot of guys has got a lot of crews out there working, and they're not profitable. That's the ones that's going to feel the real effect of it.
Sorry about that. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, I apologize. I was trying to copy this link for this gentleman.
You know, so I mean, I'm not saying that everybody's going out of businesses, but you know, that's what happens when stuff like this goes on. And I don't know everything about the tariffs. Like we said, we're not educated enough, and you just hear what you hear on the news or what I watch on YouTube, and it's tough. But the way I our my business model is just we're surviving and doing the jobs that our clientele wants us to do that we've been working with for 30 years. And so that gives us a little nest a safe nest to be in. And because you really don't have to worry about work because you know you're going to get the job long as you're performing well. And
Yeah,
but depending on the market, that's different because you're reaching the people that you don't know, customers you customers that you're just now meeting. It's going to be a little bit tougher for that kind of work.
yeah. Well, I mean, think about like in Nevada. Nevada has on average the highest uh, car insurance rates. So
Hmm.
if you don't have, like James is saying, us Texas boys, it's them
Oh, I just lost you.
lost
Oh,
connected,
there you
reconnecting.
go.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, sorry about that. It says James says yes, too many crews not performing. I mean that right there. Now imagine if you're paying $500 or $600 a month, not every 6 months, every year or even every quarter. All right, $600 a month per truck. I mean, if you got a paid for truck, I mean, you're just trying to service the insurance rate. So
Well,
it's
yeah,
almost easier for you to fire somebody than it is to um go from there. Or to
and
it's almost easier to fire somebody and as opposed to keep them on and hope for the work.
and
Alpha
insurance has
Security.
gone up too.
Oh, has it?
Yeah, my me and my dad were talking about it. He was like, "Man," he said, "My our insurances went up. You need to look at this." And he told me, we talked about it, and we got an older truck, 2010 2500 regular cab truck that we had full coverage on, and we wrecked it a couple times. It's hit a bridge. It's been rebuilt about two times.
Yeah.
but it's a viable truck because it's a 2,500 truck. Those are viable, but so we've had it since 2010. So we're going to drop the insurance down on liability because now we got three other trucks, and you know we can afford to replace that truck if something happened to that one.
Yeah,
So you got to
I've
make
just
adjustments.
I've just always kept full coverage. It's one of the ones. It's almost like my health insurance. Um, Thanks Obamacare for quadrupling that. It's almost like my health insurance. It's one of those things that I just like to pay. But I've always kept full coverage, even though none of my vehicles, even though I have the cash to replace each vehicle,
Mhm.
the problem becomes is to set that vehicle back up the way that it is in order
Mm.
to be profit. So hey, one of my students is I'm going to turn him on real quick.
Cool.
ITAY or ITAY. I can't ever get his name right. Even in class, I couldn't get it. But I
Tell
don't
me your
see his
name.
yeah, I don't see his camera turned on. So you're gonna have to turn your camera on if you want to come on. So I'll keep an eye out to see if he turns his camera on. So
Yeah,
anyways,
but our
it
logic
doesn't look like
behind that is that the truck is not worth but like 4 grand now. So if you were to total the truck, it would be you know 4 or
yeah.
5 grand. So
Yeah, the blue book value on the truck is $1,500, but in order for me to replace it to get it back on the road, it's going to be $10,000. All
yeah,
right, all I see is a forehead of some guy that
I see a
doesn't even speak English, man.
How you
I
doing,
see
Hey,
guys?
Mr.
How you guys
Clean. What's
doing?
up, man? Point your camera down.
How are you?
Doing
How are
good.
you?
that just
Let me
goes to
see.
show you
One
somebody's
second.
way on the West Coast. If you still see sunlight in the
There
background,
we go. Tell us your name, man.
Itai,
Itai.
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 Michael. Itai. Yeah, it's confusing. That's English, you know. It sounds with an E, but you spell it
Just
with
say
I. And everybody pronouncing it right like it's spelled, but it's
so.
not
It's
the way that
E Evers.
somebody in grammar.
E Evers. Yeah, no, it's
Again, it's a E
so
eliminated E.
Itai, what's going on, man?
Itai.
You came to one of my gate operator classes and my access control class, man. How are things going out there in California?
Everybody's saying that they are not busy. So I
Yeah, I can
Yeah,
guess,
see.
yeah.
can you see
I
me?
put you on full screen.
Oh,
Oh,
I
Well, we
cannot see you.
I put
put
you
you
on
on the
full
big
screen.
screen.
Yeah, I wanted to see.
Everybody complaining that it's not busy, that it's very, very quiet in all the kind of businesses. Uh, I put, I'm putting a little bit advertising, what I didn't put for like 6 years, I guess.
eh,
So I need to fill up, but a little bit does help me a lot, like filling them up. I'm
Yeah.
really busy. So I'm
Where are you
busy.
putting that money into? If you don't mind me asking, if you don't want to tell me, are you?
The most easiest thing, just Yelp $1,000 a
And
Wow.
month. That's
how
it.
is Yelp working out for you?
Yelp is great for good contractors,
hmm
so I'm happy.
So, are you finding residential, commercial contractor? Who's calling you? Oh
I'm
no,
just
yeah,
seeing
no, you're
myself.
fine. You're
Who is calling me? Everybody.
you're closing the lens.
Yeah, I see myself. I
I
know
know, but
I'm
we
looking at
can't see
myself.
you.
So I need to see you
No,
Yeah.
if you
no,
want to
you
see
just
me.
covered. You covered. There you go.
No, it's look weird. I'm talking to myself. I see myself. What? I'm like sitting
Okay,
in the
well then
mirror
talk
talking
to
to myself.
yourself and just know that we're on here. Jeez. No, you see all of us. I was just putting you on. The
What was the
last
last
question
question?
is, what kind of leads are you finding on um, Yelp? Are you finding residential, multifamily residential, commercial contractors?
I think more residential coming from Yelp. I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
residential. Commercial, I'm getting more from organic. I'm very strong in my area
Mm.
in organic.
And
Um, and a lot of
as
reputation
far as
and, you
service
know.
calls go, are I don't not necessarily in dollars, just in the number of calls that you go on. What's your primary business? Is it single family residential, multifamily, commercial? Commercial.
Commercial.
Um,
Commercial. Regular commercial, no industrial, no jails and Air Forces and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Commercial, regular
Uh,
commercial, access
and
control,
what's the
commercial stuff
primary
like that.
part of your business? Is it security, access control, gate operators, garage doors, gates?
Gates, gates repair, automation,
Cool.
Are
access
you
control.
are you doing iron work and chain link work and all that too if it's a chain link gate or an iron gate, or do you do have somebody else fix the material if somebody wrecks into it?
Chain link I sub out. I have a good
Hmm.
subcontractor. I charge good, and if they do the job, I do that. I give them service. I give them very good service. The guy giving me a good service,
Mhm.
and I'm trying. I did a lot of big jobs. Just now I finished like a few months ago for Raleigh and Martin, like 50, sixty
Yeah.
thousand dollar jobs. But it's good money, but it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
So
You know.
focusing on repairs. All these guys that coming crashing into the gate, I think it's the best niche in the business. Just to go fix the
They
gates,
want them
fix, fix,
fixed.
fix gates, fix gates, and then they're happy. They stay a good customers of you. And I mean, it's difficult. If you don't have your own welding shop, your own fabrication shop, what I have, but I don't want it to do that so much. It's in my property.
I'm with you on that too.
It's very
I
difficult.
don't like to weld no more, but I have to do it every now and then.
Like if I gonna do fabrication, it's just commercial. I'm not gonna do
Yeah.
residential fabrication
And
unless it's very easy and good money. It's all whatever. Each
Yep.
job is
so
different.
so you do fabrication, you do the automation, and then you do access control. So what are you using for gate operators these days if it's commercial, swing, or slide?
90% maximum, 5% lift master, eagle, automatic,
Okay, gotcha. Which
Automatic. Now that
on all the
that maximum,
Ramsey.
you said 90% maximum controls. How do you like maximum?
Yeah.
What do you like about them?
So, and that's why I came to talk to you. This is we are coming to the point that is the most important. And I heard you guys talking about the profit in the business, and
Mhm.
that's related to that. But Maximum are great units. I started with them since the beginning. When I started the business, I said, all right, I want to focus on a good unit because I started the business with no father, mother, brother, sister, friend. I'm a locksmith. I have a
Okay.
locksmith company. People ask me for garage door. I have a locksmith company and a safe cracking company. I don't do that
That's
anymore.
cool.
But people ask me for garage doors clickers, so I start to carry garage door clickers, and then garage door for the gates. And then can you fix the gates? So I start, and then all right, and I see that there is good money into that, and people are asking, so that's how I did it. So I choose to go with Maximum. I looked on all the
do you?
products. For somebody that's starting the industry, for somebody like me, DKS and FAAC is very complicated.
It
Even
is
that it's not, but it
complicated.
is. It's you don't have nothing that explaining to
Yeah.
you, and it's like, all right, now you need to think like the engineer that taught, I don't know, in Germany
Yeah,
or
I think
wherever
Germany.
it is.
Germany.
And Maximum, very, very, when you're looking at the board and you take the time to see, everything is there. Everything is there. The brochure, very colorful and very, very precise. We found bugs, and I was working with them all these
Mhm.
years. Directly with Jack, what is wrong, what is not working.
Yeah.
Also on the app, they fix stuff now that was wrong on the apps that I told him for years. Man, I'm saving. I don't have a button to save. Let me fucking save the thing. He's like, what? I need to go out and say don't save, and it's saving. They had some glitches, and we
Yeah.
fix all these things.
It's pretty common for
I had
companies to have glitches too. Just want to let everybody know that because whenever they change overboard or something, they'll have a glitch in pretty much all the manufacturers until they finalize them.
Yeah, and we are getting close to what I want to talk from this experience. And then I installed one Very nice. Most of my customers are nice people because I charge a lot, and people want somebody for not a lot, but in my in my level, it's like consider my service cost starting from
Yeah.
175. It's considered pretty good. Now I'm raising that to 250,
Yeah.
for diagnostic
Yeah.
service.
Yeah.
And I had a very old couple. It's very nice in a nice neighborhood. I don't know, in Redlands. And I was already with maximum in pretty much connection. I installed like few sliders and then like I had on my belt about 15 properties, I guess. It was in the beginning. And then I needed to install 2 swings. And then I said, all right, I will. I was all the time installing LA 500. And then I talked to Gates and Control, to the Daniel, and I'm like, what do you think? Yeah, all right, money-wise, how much this, how much this? All right, let's install it. Because, I was eating a lot of shit because as a new contractor, you're doing a lot of things wrong
Mhm.
yourself.
Yep.
That you need to go back to the customer and
Yeah.
fix it, And I always I'm the one that's going back and fixing. It's not like I'm not gonna leave the customer, even if I need to change the
Yeah.
equipment. And
Do you still
But
have that service technician that you brought out to Dallas? Oh yeah.
yes, but let me finish 1 second. Yeah, he's
Oh,
he's
good.
he's doing good now,
Good.
just now. So I installed them dual swing units that maximum had, and for like a year and a half I was struggling with these units. The customer, hey, and they're always nice. Hey Ty, we have a problem, and I'm going over there and. Matthew is coming over there and tell me the geometric is on over there, and we spend so much energy over there, days,
Yeah.
oh,
like
yeah.
10 days,
Yeah.
go back, forth and stuff like that. At the end, after a long time after, I realized that these units have problems. It's an issue that they know
Mhm.
about it.
And that
They
was
know
what.
about it.
I got fucking upset. I don't know if you saw it on Facebook, but I did had a big fight
Yeah.
with Maximum
Uh-huh.
with Matthew about it. Nobody know about that. That was a different story. But we had another issues pure to one unit with a circuit board and stuff like that. So I had with them back and forth, and I'm like, man, I don't give a fucking shit. If I'm going to the field and I'm taking your company as my, he told me like, don't fucking install our equipment. What? You think that you're gonna put your fucking bullshit on the market? People will buy it, and whenever you need to take responsibility, you're gonna shake people. Fuck you! I got
Hey.
upset, and then I realized from Max, I got upset, and because I'm coming from the locksmith. The locksmith, all the equipment fucking
Yeah.
working. Like if you know it's
What
fine, it's
they
working.
do.
Over here in the industry, they telling me, yeah, that's how it is. The technician go and he's like the rabbit on the field.
Yeah.
Fuck you!
Yeah.
I
Well,
got upset.
welcome to the gate business.
And this is my point in the industry that I want to make.
We've
Yeah.
all we pretty much all been through stuff. Same thing what you're just talking about. But what they do is, when they manufacture a product and they say something's defected, they already know what's wrong with it, and they're gonna put it out there,
Yeah.
and then they're gonna have stuff ready in their manufacturer
Listen,
to do RMAs and stuff like
they
that.
knew how much shit I ate. They knew how much
Yeah,
shit I ate. They knew how much I struggled to fix the problem. I'm like, okay, if you know that there is a freaking problem with an issue, tell me that I would listen. You know what? I would
Yeah.
know what to do. What
yeah.
did you giving me this bullshit? Why are you sending? Why you have some? Why are you
Well,
wasting energy like this?
that's the way
Didn't
they
make
do
sense
it.
to me.
For Itay, for two guys that are looking for sponsorship on our podcast, we just want to say that's across all manufacturers.
Yeah.
So we're not saying anything
No,
about
it's the
Maximum.
truth.
But
It's
no,
the truth.
but
I
let's
think,
let's
I
finish
think, I think, and I
finish
spoke to
the
you
story.
briefly.
Finish the story,
I
Itay, and
spoke to
tell us where you ended up with all that.
They end up giving me 3 circuit boards for free and 2 cell hub
Look
for
at there.
free, and just shut up. I told them, listen, I will take this equipment because I did lose money. I lost like in our industry to 10 days is at least like 20 grand that
Yes,
I'm
sir.
losing in my
Yep.
cycle
You're
easily.
right.
And like somebody need to come with this shit. If you knew that there is an issue and you see me eating shit on that, and you didn't tell me, that's your
Yeah.
fucking responsibility, and people will
Yeah.
know about it. I don't give a
Yeah.
shit who are you, you know. And we had very good relationship. I did for them the access control in the you know, in the office over there in Fountain Valley. I did for them. I mean, we are good friends until I realized, all right, good friends, but hey,
So
what's going on over here,
Yeah.
guys?
so
You
how
know,
did
that
you
was
end
not
up
cool. And it's
so
happened with
how
few
did you
different
end up
issues.
being all 90% maximum controls now?
Because at the end, I did get familiar with the units, and I know which one is good and which one is not. I know that don't touch the 1500 if unless it's bigger than 10-foot vinyl
Okay.
gate. 2200 working this and this good. I ate shit with it. I ate shit with all of them. And the one that working good, I know that they're working good. The Ultra working great, very good
Mm-hmm.
units. The 22 slide and swing, the low profile and the high profile, good units. Um,
So
the 2300, the super arm,
so
very
I
good
oh,
unit.
is it that the one with the big thing in the back that looks kind of funky? Is that the big one? The 2300 or whichever one?
Yeah, look like a
Pear? Yeah, pear.
pear. How you say
Yeah.
it? Like, yeah,
And you like that
like the
one?
Dan. Yeah, great unit, very good
So it
unit.
sounds like Robert, wouldn't you say that ITAY has the same experience as all of us, that we've all
Yeah.
been through
Oh
that?
yeah. We all been there, and you get mad and frustrated, and you eat shit. So you lose profits, you lose money, but that's part of learning. That's part of it. That's
Yeah,
what's going to
yeah.
happen. That's why we're here.
Well,
No, no,
no, no, no.
no. You don't teach me
But
that you
that's what
fuck
they
me.
do.
I don't need to, don't teach me that you fuck me.
Yeah,
Teach me how to fix it. Don't teach me,
Yeah.
oh, all the
But
companies know
there's a
fucking the
lot of
technician on
people
the
that
field.
complain
I
about
didn't
this,
know.
and it hasn't been fixed yet. Majority. If somebody starts up next week, they'll do the
That's what I
same
wanted to
thing,
talk to you.
exact
How,
same thing to you, to me, and to Brooks.
okay, so that's not okay if they're doing that for everybody. I think that the technician that you guys now got together, you need to put this
Mhm.
issue. And now
th-
I came to the conclusion. I told Matthew, if there is anything that I'm on the field and there is anything that is defective that coming from the factory, or you send the Uber, or you coming to the field right away, or I am fucking,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
not gonna end up good. And he did come to the field with one arm that they had defective on. I don't remember what was it. Was
yeah.
yeah.
defective from the factory. I had it like two, three times.
Mm,
Since then, they got straight up and they are working with
yeah,
me better because
Yeah,
I did install a
I
lot.
think that that's an experience that all of us had. And Robert, wouldn't you say that when people ask us what the best gate operator is, that it's relative to the gate that you're going to be putting it on, the
yeah.
environment that you're going to be in, but
Hmm.
also as well as the distributor and the manufacturer that you're actually working with.
Yeah. It's tough, man. Like I got automatic. I'm an automatic 90 150 guy for slide gates. Column mounts. I'm an automatic. I don't even know the name of it, but the column mount automatic. The Viking column mount. The um
Oh, the mock.
automatic 300 for pad mounts. I use those. I use the Viking pad mounts, stuff like that. I haven't had no issues with none of them. Um, I've been using the LA 400s for lightweight residential. I haven't had no issues with them. LA 500 one I installed, and I got the Door King 6006 actuator arm. Haven't had a callback on that one. So it's just all about installing them correctly, put them in the right places, and through your experience, like you say, you know what models or the maximum that you're using, and that's what you're gonna stick with. You say, oh, I need to put this one here, and this model at this job, and the next job I need to put this model, and you learn those things after a while, and you got to use your judgment on which operators you use, and you can holler at the manufacturer all you want, but they do not care if they don't care.
No.
But long as
Well,
they long as they give you your parts and they back up their their warranty, that's what they're gonna do. But everybody's been fighting that fight for years, and it hasn't moved a bit.
Yeah, I just no, I didn't even think that it's possible.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That it's part of the game. Until Jake told me, I had a lot of long
Oh yeah, and they
conversation with them
know,
on this issue.
and
Jake told me,
Hey,
"Hey,
yeah,
this is the industry. That's how it is. They ship shit and they
yeah.
fix it on a they
well,
go."
wouldn't you agree that Jake is one of the coolest people in the world? He's super, super nice.
He's a nice guy. He's an awesome guy. He did apologize
Yeah,
for all this issue. You understand that I didn't like I didn't I came completely like it's completely man this is
Yeah.
just one job. I had so many issues that part of it was my issue,
hmm
my problem. But when I lost the confidence in the unit, and I didn't have in any of the
hmm
units, if I installed one of the first units I installed was a SL24 or 12,
Yeah,
UL
Lift
12.
Master.
CSL.
Yeah, that's what I start one of them. And this unit, I replaced the circuit board. I replaced brand new units on the box. Batteries, I replace everything on the unit beside the chassis, and the unit still
That
kept
was
giving me
that.
issues.
That
Yeah.
must have been a RSL, right? Not a CSL. Yeah, I don't know
RSL
about
12,
your
yeah.
experience with those, Robert, but have you put any of the residential LiftMaster line in at all?
No, I haven't put that RSL in at all.
Yeah,
I've seen them and I've serviced them, but I haven't put them in.
So the SL3000 never give an issue, so I install all the time
Is
so
that new
SL3000.
one?
no, he's talking about old
Oh, the
school, right?
Elite.
Itai, Itai, isn't that right? The old school SL3000.
Liftmaster, I don't know. After they become Chamberlain Elite and all that, they have just
Oh,
one
okay, gotcha. So
SL3000.
new SL3000 you like?
Okay. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of the SL3000. It's just worth it for me to just upgrade them to the CSL 24. And for the most part, I don't like the design of the CSL 24. But as far as reliability and durability, the CSW 24 and CSL 24. If I'm going to put swingers and sliders on a property, they're going to probably be one of my first ones that I look at. And that's considering, I'm a huge automatic fan. But I do like maximum controls, being able to set the limits from one gate operator. That was kind of nice the other day. But yeah,
Hmm.
but I think Ite, I think it takes a big man to admit that some of this stuff might have been your fault as well too, yeah, especially
Oh
when you're talking
yeah,
about
yeah,
arm
of course.
geometry. Like people don't get that how important that is. And having not installed any maximum control stuff on the actuator arm side, I don't know what they require. But yeah, I mean, there's a trick to that we teach in class. Like all of them, you can't just be just slapping it up there and that's
That
it. I've seen those brackets and all that stuff rip off if you don't have the right
yeah,
angle.
the geometry is the most important part to actuator arms. I mean, there's no way around that at all.
Yeah.
I installed now, according to the customer requestment with approval of all the people and witnesses, to install floor mount
Uh huh.
swingers
Hmm.
maximum, push out inside units. So the arms look like a V shape when
Yeah.
when the gates are open. You see
Yeah.
two like they stay, and he put two flags on the
Yeah.
arms so
Huh.
people will
Okay.
see it. I told him to put flag from the off
Huh.
on
Cool.
the shop.
All right. Yo, by the way, if you guys haven't been to Maximum Control's website, it looks like that they've updated quite a bit. Max.us.com for anything anybody's looking at. But boy, I haven't seen this Megatron tank. They got apparently, I'm gonna call it a new gate operator because I haven't seen it. It retails for $10,146. So
It
that's
better
a
have a cannon on it.
well for that price, yeah. But
So I choose
Yeah.
few different companies. You guys got, yeah. So I choose few different companies that I like to, that I think that
Hmm.
they're the best,
Yeah.
in my opinion. It's for me the daily working maximum work good for me. I
Hmm.
understand them. I got it. I like DKS with
Hmm.
everything that they have. I do like high security. That if I need to go to industrial and good equipment, it's look like really
Yeah.
badass equipment. It's look like
Yeah.
good
You
company.
know, and sometimes when you're bidding on
Yeah.
jobs, you you got to do what's on the bid sheet. So, you know, if it's a high security, you got to get one of those and put them in, or a big linear, or them new. I haven't installed the new LiftMaster yet. The one that took place of the LA, I mean SL 585, and I saw a couple of videos on them operators, and hopefully soon I'll be able to put one of those in eventually. But
I have over here 585 just behind me,
hmm
behind this hall. This is
yeah,
the 1 horsepower, the Aqua that used to be
yeah,
gray and now they're black, right? I have the gray one over here. I threw away like few days ago a black
yeah.
one that I had for a long time. I installed one. I replaced the gray one with the
Hmm.
black one a few years ago for Coca-Cola. Tandem gate, 40
Hmm.
foot, 10 foot high,
Yeah.
tandem gate with weights in the end and
Hmm.
nice gate. The entire unit held by screws. All the junctions of the
Mm.
unit with screws.
Hmm. Hmm.
The 858. From the weight, all the screws
Yeah.
after
They start wobbling a little bit.
I came back, I
Yeah.
welded the
Yeah.
entire unit. I welded all the unit and it still broke. The unit
Yeah.
broke after
Yeah.
a
I've
few
seen
years.
that happen too, and I've had to go and fix them and put more bolts or weld them up a little bit. I've done that too. Make a post to support them. If they didn't want to replace it, they say, "Can you fix it?" And you got to come up with some kind of way to fix it sometimes. But yeah, most of the time when it starts doing that, like, can we replace it so I can put a different operator here that I know that won't do that. So,
And they make the clutching system over there that's gonna work exactly amount of time until they're gonna make the next money. You know, like
oh
Chevy
yeah, it's all
before.
the same.
The same shit. All the clutching work, breaking over there after, I don't know, they start to break after, I would say, 2,500 times. The gates, if
Yeah.
it's big gates, the clutch start to fall
Well,
apart over
do
there.
you think that's due for lack of maintenance on the gate, or they maintenance regularly, or they just wait till it falls apart and call you?
I think every time that I used to come over there, they fired me. They took somebody else and they put Olomatic. And then they called me to replace it to the maximum that they don't. Never known story. So
That's the name of the game, man.
the Olomatic
Hey,
one
when they call
horsepower.
you back, that's good, you know. And that happens with people. I mean, it happens with me too. So, and they'll get somebody else, and it doesn't work, and then they'll call me back like 2 or 3 years later, and then I got them for life after that. So.
So what you like working
I
on,
like
ever?
my favorites the automatic for slide gate operators. I'm commercial, residential. I'm not real big in industrial. I mean, I've done it before, and but right now I'm commercial and residential, and I'm doing the LA 400 for lightweight residential because I kept losing jobs, not getting them because I was putting in a better quality operator. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna come up with a scheme
Oh,
to
the
where
LA 400, LA 400 for small gates,
yeah,
non-windy area. Well, what it's breaking is the hinge on the back. It's plastic. It's
yeah,
not
yeah.
aluminum or I don't know.
And
It's
and that's when I'm putting them
that's
on
what.
like farm gates, chain link gates. Uh, Nothing that's had. I
Yeah,
do got one because the customer wanted me to use the LA 400, and it was a wrought iron gate, and it has a sheet of metal across the whole gate. And I was like, look, this I can't warranty. I can't say this is going to last for 2 or 3 years because when the wind hits it. But I ain't had no issue with it. I did do a service call on it last week because the batteries went dead because they cut the power off and the batteries drained down. So, and the gate's working great. But like you said, when you got a lot of wind, you know, you got to be thoughtful on that. But the customer didn't want me to put a better operator. And so that's why I switched over to the LA 400 because I kept getting these, because you got a lot of stuff on the internet now and people are researching stuff on the internet. LiftMaster is pounding the internet with their product. You can go on YouTube or anything and you'll see commercials, little ads about LiftMaster. And I think people are researching it. And then I got people that buy the LA 400 and have me to install it, which I don't mind doing that, long as I'm still making my end. And so I'm like, well, there's something to this LA 400. So I was like, I'm gonna come up with a package, and I'm gonna just put them out there.
Ite, do you buy product or do you have customers uh, buy the product and call you up and say, "Hey, will you install this for me?" And you do it?
Friday, I had a customer with Zach, with a technician on the phone, $6,500 estimate, and he asked, "Let me think about it. Would you guys do if I gonna buy the equipment and you install it?" I told him
Yeah.
no.
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 Yeah.
No, because if for maximum, you need a photo cell and you need the safety or whatever it is. You need more devices. You need the receiver, you need remote control, you need more stuff,
Yeah.
just the unit. And then if they order something and you come on the field and they order something that it's not working, or if the unit is defective, who's paying for me coming now and didn't
Now,
install it?
does the
Yeah.
maximum come?
I don't want to deal with that. I'm busy
Does the
enough not to deal
maximum
with that,
come
you
with
know?
the photo eye or not? They don't.
No,
No.
no photo eye. What photo
I
eyes
didn't
are
know
you
that.
using? Omron?
Omron. It used to be EMX that until they stopped making it, the black one, the EMX RB2,
Yeah,
I
it
think it
was
was.
the
And now I switched back to Omron. I started with Omron. I didn't like the
I
color, and
don't
now
like
I went back
the
to
Omni. I don't know. I don't like that.
yeah, I don't like the color.
Man, it's the only sensor, it's the only photo cell that you put it and it's working. Like, you know that it's
Yeah,
working for me.
the IRB RET they no longer make, but they have
I'll
the
be right back.
IRB RET2. No problem. They have the IRB RET2, and that one works just as good as the IRB RET, but it's a little bit easier to install and um, line up. I still say, what's your opinion on this? I still say that manufacturers of gate operators need to have a feature on the control board, which they already have the hardware, that you turn on when you're aligning the photo eye and it beeps when you're in alignment, as opposed to having to watch the LED.
Oh, that's
Isn't
smart. I
that the
never thought
craziest
about
thing?
it.
I've told it to so many manufacturers, and they none of them give a shit. It's like I don't understand.
So, number one, number one, send yourself a letter so you have a
There you
patent
go.
on it. Send
There you
yourself a
go. I
letter
might just
today.
do that.
You know.
But the
Yeah. And then draw it. You just need to replace the laser with a buzzer. There is a relay. The
well,
click click, and it just there is the same relay that we have in the electric strikes that making the business.
so I'm thinking do it on the actual gate operator itself, which already has the buzzer. You just need to tell the software. Yeah.
Even
So
so,
now
yeah,
think about
smart.
this, and I've also told they don't ever listen to me because
Maximum did
okay,
listen to me too
well
many
they may
times.
listen to you, but when you
But you need to get on it. You need to tell them what you really need to think, what you think
yeah,
about them, what.
well when you see maybe it worked. You got a better personality than I do. See when it when I say this is fucking bullshit or you should make a product. Oh, Robert's back. I can't cuss now. So there you go. There's IRB RET.
So this is a shame they did it. They had a great product, and then they make it plastic, ugly, and wooden.
Well, I will.
I mean, I'm using it,
Yeah, I
but
think it's
yeah.
easier install and adjustment. That's just me. But one of their goals with that was is to keep it all American, and all those parts, all the plastic parts, all that stuff are all made in America and designed in America as well too.
Oh, that's good to know. So you see, you brought up
There
a
you
good
go.
point. This is Infocell? Look like Infocell
Yeah, it's
plastics.
similar look, but it's Optex. Have you seen this one? So this Optex is
No.
really
This is
cool.
the best.
See, hey, when Robert told me that he was installing that one,
It's in the industry, each what person like.
that's pretty big,
It's
isn't
funny.
it? But the cool thing about this one is it's a through beam photo eye. So for commercial, it's really good. But the secondary side has a 8-year battery life. And Robert,
Yeah.
have you ever had to replace a battery?
Not one yet.
All right, very good. You came on time. I have a site that the customer want to shoot me, and it's not my fault. I installed over the maximum 5500, the
Yeah.
biggest slider they have, big gate. It's a commercial place. Listen to this. Like, I didn't realize it. I don't think it's my fault, basically. But in the center of the gate, when the truck's leaving the property, they have a scale to scale the gate, the truck. They put the scale on the last 15 foot of the gate, so the gate is a little bit floating to the end, but the truck stopping on the gate opening to scale the truck. Listen to that. They have Omron. Now he's complaining, you put this shit, it's still doing that, it's opening, it's closing, it's not opening, it's not closing, I have problem, people there, they still. I'm like, I don't know, all right, so let me put the truck stopping over there, and it's hitting the reflectors
Yeah.
on the trucks. The reflector on the stickers, and it's driving the gate crazy, and then the gate staying open, and then you need to come and undo the chain.
Yeah.
So now he need to run me a cable under the scale to run a true beam. But if you're saying that there is a true beam with battery,
This
you're
one
just
right
giving me a
here,
good tip.
8-year battery life.
I started installing these about 8 years ago. And where I got them from is I was doing a job and I noticed there was, the security people that have these beams, and they got one much bigger than this one, and it
Oh,
was like
they got them.
500 foot.
Yeah, they got them 12 feet tall.
They're 500 foot,
Did you have this
and I was
issue
like,
that I have? Did any one of you had this issue
yeah,
that I have
yeah.
now with
Anytime you have a gate over a scale, you're gonna have some damn issues.
Did you have a gate over a
Yeah,
scale? I never
I
saw that
got
before.
one that where the gates they're not even working now. They didn't even fix them. They put the scale right over where the gates closing, and they didn't. This was years ago, but they don't care about it no more. But this through beam is what you need because it helps to keep the fog and the rain. It doesn't
How high would you put it in my case? 5 foot from the ground?
uh well, what are you trying to do? Block the trucks from keeping it closing on them?
Right now, I have a regular photo cell with reflector on the other side, and because of the sticker on the trucks, the gate goes bananas, and then the gate gets
Yeah,
stuck, and then
yeah. You
they
can
need to
put
reset it.
one
And they get
5 foot
upset.
high, then you can put one 21 inches high, whatever you want to do. Yeah, if you want to put it where when the truck's parked, because the trucks are kind of high, you can put a photo up high like this. This Optech, and it's a through beam, and they're pretty easy to set up. I like them because I can put them. I've got them on a 45-degree angle, and I got them. I can shoot them any way I want to shoot them because they adjust. And once you learn how to get them set, you know, it's easy.
So what is the tough? You're saying that there is okay.
Yeah, it's
It's
not
easy
hard.
to set it up.
Normally closed, normally open.
Okay.
Um, You
Okay.
gotta,
So no wire. I don't need wire to the other one.
yeah,
It's gonna be
and
wireless.
Wireless.
yeah, the other side's wireless. All it does is a through beam, and it shoots all the way across and reflects it right back. And well, not reflected, but it's infrared, really infrared all the way through. And when it rains, when you got a lot of fog, it'll still shoot right through there without being interrupted. And you do got some adjustments on it. You can read about it, and but I don't do no adjustments to mine. I put them in from straight from the factory, and you line them up by when you get them lined up and you get them dialed in. When the light is blinking, they're lined up, but when the light stops and the light is off, that means they're perfectly in sync. And then when you put your hand in front of it, the light will come on and that will be interrupted. Like,
So that should give me the answer for this issue over there. How these gates?
yeah,
Uh,
I
yeah.
guess.
And I use these on jobs that I know that I'm going to get a call back from a reflector because I don't use a reflector maybe on a 12-foot opening, 16-foot opening. But if it's a 20-foot opening, I don't use the reflector.
How much they going
These, I
for?
think, around close to $300, something like that.
like
Oh, better than crawling
You
under the
can
yeah.
look
stairs and
them
running
up.
a
Yeah,
cable.
that's what I'm saying. I had to
300 each one or
say
both
that
of them?
again.
Three each or both?
You get
Both,
one
right? It's
set.
not going by one.
So one
Yeah.
set.
One set.
Transmitter,
One,
receiver.
one double.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then yeah, transmitter and receiver. And you can look them up on the internet. They
Yeah,
got
I just put the Jeremy put the link in the description, and I just put it. I'll pop it up there in a second, Ite. But hey, I just had a yeah. There you go. There's a model number. I only wanted to bring up one point about Robert's LA 400 package for everybody. Is Robert, you're also including a magnetic lock with your
yeah.
package, so all of them
Yeah.
get a magnetic lock no matter
Yeah.
what. Yeah,
Hmm.
oh,
Why?
well, I'll tell you what my opinion is because of the quality of the LA 400 and 500. However, but he
Oh,
well,
oh, the
but
swingers, yeah.
what the benefit is at the end of the day is the customer gets a little bit more security, better quality, and there is no wind or anything like that
Yeah.
issues during normal operation or when it's or actually when it's fully closed. So during normal operation, you won't have any problem. Robert, why do you do that? Why do you include a maglock with it?
Well, it brings down the ability of the wind blowing on the gate and pop pop pop. You know.
Maglock is just always better.
Yeah.
Much
Yeah, it
better.
makes the
Make
gate
the
better.
gate
And
much more durable.
Yeah.
um so we had to come
Yeah.
what the thing is coming up with a package that's gonna work that's not gonna get no callbacks. So
Yes.
we got the lowest, the cheapest mag lock you can buy on the internet. And you'll put it on and it's not for if somebody kicks it hard enough, hey, it's gonna open, whatever. But it's just because of the wind
It's
factor.
a computer
If the wind's
pressure.
blowing real hard, it's gonna lock that gate down. That's all that matters to what I'm doing because they just want the
Yeah.
gate shut. And if somebody comes to vandalize the gate, that's oh well. Well, that's a service call. So I
Yeah.
mean,
Ite, we'll let you go, but we had a one more comment from Jeremy. There's actually a couple more comments. He said the Max 4000 is junk, manually open, but takes a forklift to move. Everyone we had, everyone we've had,
What is the fault? I don't know the
Max
unit.
4000. I don't know
That's
that
good.
either, but he said just stay with the 2200, 2300, and 5500. Which one of those did you like?
All of them. That's the
Okay,
exactly one
cool.
that's working.
So it's just one of those things. Obviously, now we've got more than one expert out there saying it. So, uh, yeah. So that was pretty much it. I just wanted to point out those two things um, that Robert's using the maglock, and I wanted to get your opinion on the whatchamacallit. So it looks like we were lost Ite. Lost the
Itay, man,
video at least. So he
Okay.
No, I'm still here. I'm just
just
closing
lost
But
the
the camera.
yeah,
camera.
man, you know, it's
Nice talking.
Well, let me
I,
tell Ite bye, and we'll let him go. That way, he
yeah,
doesn't have to worry about his camera. Ite, we expect you on the next. We expect you on the next couple podcasts as well too. You got a lot of information, and
yeah, that was good.
sounds like me and you talk the same way. So we can have our opinions.
Yeah,
But
your
anyways,
opinions.
yeah, no, that's what I was telling somebody about you and I the other day, Robert. I was just like, you're a good balance because you tell
Mhm.
me, hey, dude, does that really help us move the gate operator installation industry forward by you saying this or that? But, anyways, I just thought it
Oh
was
well.
great to have a second opinion.
Well, you got
So,
to have a conversation, and what I don't understand, a conversation is two different or three different opinions, and that's what it's about. And there's no wrong or right to it, but what is the right way is what works and what doesn't work. So
yeah. Uh, I'm putting, oops. By the way, guys, I've been saying that I'm putting the link in the post. And I may not have actually been doing that. I don't see it on here. So I just updated it on my page, which doesn't do us any good. So let me switch over to two smooth operators for people that are out there and want to jump on. But right now, the question we got is who puts in VMAGs? So if you guys do, please feel free to jump on. It looks like on the stream, I've got the link not only on the Two Smooth Operators page, but on my personal page. So if anybody's doing that, I haven't. Robert, you know which one those are? Those are the ones that go real fast, right?
yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, yeah. So James is out there. Let's catch up on some of this chat. Don't care at all. He's probably talking. Yeah, it depends on styles and specs. So we'll have to go back and look at what that is.
Yeah.
Jeremy says just look at the Door King 6500s. They've had so many revisions with their output shaft issue where it's become easier just to replace the gate operator. Um, I haven't put any Door King sliders in a minute. We just got a 9150 here at the Finch University, and we haven't had any problems with that one. Um, and I've been installing them. I think they were 9100s before, and they just changed the model number. So, but I like that. I like the housings, the design, but sometimes it's hard to get the cover back on.
Yeah.
What about industrial slides? Really, for me, automatic SL 150 DC. What about you?
Yeah, 150. Then if you need bigger, you just go to a bigger operator. Um,
I think that's 4,000 pounds. I could be
yeah,
wrong,
yeah, I got
but
them out there. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I've got a couple that are out there too, and surprisingly enough, they're not the longest ones. The longer ones I've got are actually lighter weight than that. I got a 70 something footer out there. What's the longest one you got?
I don't have nothing that long. The longest one I got is like a 48-foot opening. So,
They have the 1 horsepower version of that is 4,000 pounds and 60 foot. So the one I put it on was 70 foot, and boy, those limit nuts were tight. Boy, they were right next to each other.
yeah, that's
Um,
cool. That's cool, man. You have to
uh,
set it just right too, don't you?
yeah, you sure
When
do.
you
And
max it out.
yeah, it's also possible you got to be very very lucky to actually just want run one limit nut. But I have cut down limit nuts before, and
Mm,
got them on the shaft, got them aligned, and then glued them together. So you don't get just the size of one. You kind of get it more precise where you can actually
mm.
cut it down yourself. But just in case it's over that maximum uh, length. So now my question to you is: as you're installed their SL 175 DC, going to what Pat McDermott was saying, industrial. That's a 100-foot gate.
Mm.
and it does 8,000 pounds at one
Wow.
foot per second.
8,000 pounds at 1 foot per
Per
second. That's
second.
pretty good.
God dang, man. I wonder how much that thing costs.
I
But
don't know.
that's a big boy. If I remember correctly, that's a 36 volt uh 36 volt gate operator. Oh, there's no Anthony. He's out there in California as well too.
Yeah,
Yo, what's
San
up,
Diego.
guys? I've had about three RSLs under 3 year old get new circuit boards. CSL are always solid. In my opinion, we were talking about that in training. I was out in Texas and Weatherford training Thursday and Friday, where I spoke a little bit Friday about the CSL and the RSL. And my theory is just spend a couple hundred more bucks and get double the warranty and a better product.
Yeah, that's
So
what our normally go to is.
yeah, I just haven't done any of the RSLs just because every RSL that I've worked on, I've had to replace. I've not repaired any with any success except for one, but it was always going to be a regular service call every 6 months to a year.
Yeah.
And it was just different things. That
Hmm.
might, to be honest with you, might have been just as much as the install as the gate operator itself. And that's an important instructive thing for new guys,
Yeah.
is that you got to keep in mind that even though the gate operator might be rated for it, might have the quality to handle it, um, the gate operator itself, just by its nature, because it's sold on the internet, it's less expensive than the other models. Also has to do with who's buying it and the quality of installation that they have. So you have to be careful. It's not just the gate operator, it's also how it's sold and marketed to
Hmm.
DIYers, landscapers, garage door technicians, and so on. And they are being pitched to those people. I know directly for a fact that these manufacturers are going out there and pitching them to garage door opener installers and
Hmm.
landscapers so they can install them. But,
Yeah.
anyways, Jeremy, when LiftMaster bought Elite, their first problem was they quit putting in Leeson motors and the cheap motors were junk. I do know that they had a problem with manufacturing on some of the components when they started doing manufacturing in Mexico. But yeah, the Elites used to be solid. You remember those days?
Yeah, man, because I got them out there still working,
Yeah.
pumping
Yeah.
it every day.
Well, this goes back to how manufacturers don't listen. It's not just LiftMaster, it's all the manufacturers. Like I give them quality feedback. I think you might have been just standing up just a second ago. You might not have been at the microphone and the video.
Hmm.
One thing that I've been telling manufacturers forever is for the alignment of the photo eye, you guys can put all the LEDs, all the relays, all that you want, but it needs to be able to go into a mode that when I align it, a buzzer goes off the control board. So now there's no more guessing of, oh, was that a car driving by or did the relay actually click? And you know those new automatic photo eyes, you know how they actually put the LEDs on the front? Those
Yeah.
things are not bright at all.
No.
So it's hard, and I'm
Yeah.
being told every single time that I bring this up that one, they're bright, and two, you can see the laser during the middle of the day. I, I it just kills me because now I'm the liar. I'm the
It's-
lazy one.
I can't see, but
Well, I definitely can't see it either. But I tell you, man, it's a bunch of bullshit to me to be
that's
called,
why
a liar.
I like them optics. I can
Oh
line
yeah.
them up.
But the
It's
problem
easy.
is that means I gotta buy. I have to have the additional expense
Yeah, yeah.
of
Well, if you're
now I have to
buying
buy two of
maximum,
those.
if you're buying a maximum operator, from what I've been told, they don't come with a photo eye, so
There
you
you
have the
go.
option of getting that.
So
So
there's a
that's
benefit to
you know,
that.
I
Well, and we
mean,
know that through beams are a lot more reliable as far as just
yeah.
inherently
Sometimes we have to
designed.
just put the three beam up, regardless if it comes with one or not, and then I just have extra. I trade them out, so I have extra
Yeah, just that you
photo
could
eyes.
resell, yeah.
Yeah.
But commercial, industrial, far away from my office, dirty, dirt debris, always getting a through beam. No ifs, ands, or
You
buts.
have to, yeah.
Yeah, it's just the way that it actually is. So, all right, guys, if you're wanting to get on and talk to
Come
Robert and
on.
I, let's get it on. I put
Now,
the link in there
was
about a
this one
million
of them he
times.
was talking about? This photo out here?
Yeah, he liked ITAY, like the IRB RET, and that's the IRB RET2.
Okay.
He
Yeah.
didn't say he wasn't a particular fan of that.
Yeah, because
That
this is one that I got this one's no good, but I
what happened?
well, this was the job that I got in the middle of last summer with the guy that walked off the job, and I had to redo everything.
Hmm.
And this is the photo he had on, and the opening was like 40 foot, and I had a time lining it up on that 40 foot opening with it was a reflector, so I'm like, it was a time, but
Yeah, these manufacturers will not listen to us on the most basic
yeah,
stuff. I appreciate that you put LEDs in the front and blah blah blah. I still had to say to as of right now that the LiftMaster, that has the feature where it slowly blinks if you're close and then it solid blinks if you're dead on.
yeah,
Those LEDs or whatever they are in there, those LEDs are bright enough to where you can
yeah.
see them.
And
But
also,
you still
the
have
lift
to.
master's easy to put in. I mean, I really like putting them in. That you got to practice. You got to practice putting them in, putting them together. Come up with a way of putting it together and getting it on there and lining it up, and
Yeah,
you know,
way we do it on mine is I actually have a measurement. I'm sure a lot of people have seen it before,
yeah,
but I have two measurement. So on my cart that I pull out when I'm doing these installations, I have a storage bin box, and it's got master links, small screws, wood screws, all the types of stuff that I'll need on day to day, wire nuts, Wago
hmm,
connectors, and so on. But on that door, when you flip it up, it has blue tape all over it. And that blue tape is every time that I have a number or a measurement or something that I am going to come into in the future, I just take it on that painter's tape and write it down. So if I remember correctly, the two numbers for the LiftMaster photo eyes are 21.5 and 26. And when I put my equipment at those two heights, the photo eye aligns with dead center and the reflector.
yeah,
So what that gets me is as long as I'm doing my measurements, taking into account the
yeah,
grade or
hmm,
slope, 9 times out of 10, I don't have to do much to get them
yeah,
where they need to be. And the LiftMaster photo eyes have been easy to install with or without conduit.
yeah,
And that's the biggest issue that I have with the RET
yeah, yeah. That's the thing is, um,
2, RET2,
th-
right? I was trying to, I had,
the new automatic photo eyes, the big red eye, they got a thing where they can have a adapter go in it, and you can run your conduit to it.
which photo eye?
The red eye,
Oh,
the
the
new
new one?
one, yeah,
Yeah. I don't know why. I have no idea why. That one was the worst mistake to put the 3/4 inch in there. I
yeah.
mean,
We don't,
so back in the RET or on the Omron, you had it made kind of a little bit of sense because you had all of those connections, right? You had
yeah,
power in, power out, relay one, relay two, and then so you could easily justify a 3/4 inch
yeah,
output. So, but why they did 3/4 inch on that? Because the other thing is too is have you used conduit on the new red twos?
yeah. I use flex conduit on.
So I did too. Did you have a hard time getting the
Yeah,
did they not did somebody not pull out a damn measuring tape and going, okay, let's see, non-metallic flexible conduit, it's gonna be 1.75 inches wide, and let's put the center of that hole, I don't know,
because
half an inch away from the bracket.
well, the thing is, they need to make it where it's maneuverable. Because once you put that conduit in there, it's there, and if you
And it
can't
and
move it to line it up, because you can get it lined up and then put your conduit in, and then it's offline, and then you got to do that. And then if you got your conduit screwed to your post, you have to redo it and get line. I don't like that at all.
No, because the further that you go out, the further down you're going to have to put your strap because you need more
Yeah,
flexibility.
yeah,
But now, as opposed to the bracket being determined where the alignment is, you have the goddamn non-flexible metallic or non-flexible non-metallic conduit. That's what determines where the photo eye is. And
yeah.
if it's the middle of winter and you just pulled that out of the bag, that thing's going to be looped around like that.
And somebody
And
goes around and kicks that conduit. It's out of line. It's out of line.
yeah, that's actually a good point. I mean, I like the bracket. I kind of like the bracket. I think that there's too many screws. So I've got
Yeah,
just for the photo eye, I've got 6 screws. 2 on the top of the bracket, 2 on the bottom of the bracket, and then bolts. I have 2 bolts. So that's 6 bolts and screws. That's just
yeah,
for the photo eye. That's not for mounting it. So you got 8 if you just do 2 screws to mount the bracket that
yeah.
holds the photo eye, you're talking about 8 screws. Whereas a LiftMaster photo eye, it's actually not much easier, or it's not.
Oh, it's a
You have
little bit
two.
more difficult, but it's not bad.
Well, the thing I don't like about the LiftMaster is that they use 3 different tools to mount it. Right, so
Yeah.
you got the screws that you mount to. Let's just say they're
Mm,
5/16 self tappers, right?
yeah.
Then you've got the 2 Allen wrenches in the
Hmm.
front. Then you got the small Allen wrench. Oh, it actually has 4 tools, and then you have the Phillips head on the back
And you're
to
missing
mount.
one more.
Oh, which one?
7/16 ratchet or wrench to tighten the bolt it on.
And oh yeah, so that is that 5 separate tools?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 5 separate tools. I was gonna say I knew which ones I was missing is the Phillips heads on the side too, if you're not
Yeah.
using conduit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
technically that could be 6 because the Phillips head that goes to the back for the cover, that really small screw, which should just be on by pressure. There's no need to put a screw in that. But let's just get past
I
that for
put
a
them
second.
on. I put
I
them on.
put the screws on too, yeah,
Yeah.
because they're not they're that you need them, or they're going to fall off. So
Yeah.
that screw is uh, eh, not an eighth, maybe a 3/16 diameter head, and then those other ones on the side are 3/8 diameter head. So
Yeah.
the Phillips that goes in there is 2 different Phillips. As a matter of fact, for the screw on the back, I just use my little flathead that fits in the Phillips. I just use that to screw the one on the back as opposed to the Phillips.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't care what you say. You still have to have 6 different tools because the 2 Phillips on the side, you have to use your impact for that. You can't hand screw that in.
No, I hand screw them in.
Oh, you do? I
Yeah.
use my imp.
I
I
do
use my
not use impacts on stuff like that.
I use my impact because they're not tapped already. You self tap them when you screw them in. But yeah,
Yeah.
you bring up a good point because I cut the Allen wrench head off
You
and
can do
screw
that.
that.
Yeah.
I cut the Allen wrench head off and put it in my impact or my
Yeah.
drill and then
Well,
screw that
see,
one in. But I
now
broke one off one time.
I want to talk about what you just said, the impact. Here's the problem I have using the impact on everything. Um, you can overuse it. Not you per se, but somebody can go in and overuse it, strip it out. Uh, you need to be using hand tools on that, in my opinion. And I know it's hard, but I make my guys like, no, y'all ain't using no impact on that because I don't want them to get it out of line. I don't want them to. Only time you're gonna use the impacts, use a self tapping screw. But you need to use it to turn it. You need to work that muscle.
Yeah.
You need to learn how to use hand. You need to be able to use the hand tools. That's my opinion on it. And then they like to use them on putting on industrial hinges, and they don't tighten down all the way. They You have to still take a wrench and make sure they're tight and pull them. And what happens is they'll use that impact and tighten down the bolt, and they think it's tight, but it's not really tight. It's just got real good snug tightness to it. And I think some things you need to use the impact for some, and you don't. Now I can see why You want to use the impact for the Allen wrench because it's got that lock tight on the screw, and it's kind of hard. But I like to use my hand.
Well, well, you bring up a good point, and it is the Loctite part of it that makes it difficult.
Yeah,
But it's
and I've done
also,
that too.
but it's also, if you could use the long part of it to crank it down, that would make it easier. The problem is the way that the photo eye is. You can't use the long part to crank it down. You have to put. You can only use the short part to actually
Or you
put
get a
in.
pair of pliers and do it.
Yeah, you could. I just put it in my impact and I would tell people, or put it in my drill
Yeah,
and I'll tell people turn that on screw and turn the
yeah,
clutch all the way down. But I don't do that
yeah.
either. That's what I tell people. And yes, I've broken one off, and that's $100 screw. If
Hmm.
really, it's really a $250 screw because the time you have to pick up all your tools, go get the screw, and bring it back. So you should have a spare one on there. But again, going back to the manufacturers, I dare anybody to call LiftMaster and ask the size of that screw.
And I take
If
the
you
alley
get an answer.
wrenches that you get from them,
Yeah.
and I put them in the control panel. That way, if you get a service call, hey, look in the control panel. The two alley wrenches are in there.
That actually is pretty cool. I don't do that. I just throw
Yeah.
throw them away. So yeah, that's a good point. So anyways, yeah, we went through that. Now would be a good time to take a sponsor break.
Okay.
I was over here getting something to drink. What do you got? So on this this web episode of the show is sponsored by Sam's Purified Drinking Water and Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper is the only 2 liter that you can buy nationwide that has 23 blended flavors and only 150 calories per 12-ounce serving. So
That's a
Dr.
Texas thing, man.
Well, so here's the deal. I haven't had sodas and I mean it was a decade. But I don't know if you remember this, and maybe I didn't tell very many people. I got tremendously sick about 3 months ago, and I was out for a
Oh
week,
yeah,
week and a half.
yeah,
Um, and I just went home and laid down. And my friend brought over some sodas, and or actually, she brought over ginger ale because it's supposed to help your upset stomach.
yeah, yeah. Hmm.
But then those ginger ales went out, and then there was some Dr. Peppers and stuff left
Oh
over. So I was
no!
like, let me hit that. Let me hit that. So, anyways, my New Year resolution for next year is going to be no more sodas. But no, that
I
needs to
I
happen
drink
for sure.
diet sodas a lot, so
Oh, do you? I do
yeah,
enjoy a Diet Coke and a Diet Dr. Pepper, but Dr. Pepper has
yeah,
been my go-to. So we got summer coming up, man, and one of the things that we had talked about was the hydration, and I was telling you that these sodas, it
mhm,
seems like to me, I'm getting dehydrated by drinking them and not drinking enough water. So I've got a couple of tips and tricks for the summer that's about to come up for
yeah,
you guys that are out there in the field. So here's a couple of tricks to stay hydrated in the field. First of all, recognize the color of your pee. The darker your pee is, the more hydrated you are. And they do make a chart that you could put right next to your weenus and look at the color of the chart and look at the color of your urine to determine how hydrated you are. Or
yeah,
in this case, dehydrated. I'm not saying
and
that
yeah,
you don't need to hold it up to your dingaling. You might be able to go do one of those, but that's something you guys might
yeah,
want to look into for your new
yeah,
guys as well as your old guys because your new guys won't recognize
yeah.
it.
Well, when I'm gotten older now, so um, probably about 10 years ago, when I'm about 34, 35. That's when I started noticing. I used to can go to work and not drink nothing all day long, and all of a
Mhm.
sudden I almost died. They had to. I got put on the IV, and I got dehydrated, man. And I could barely get up. Got into the doctor's office and they put me on the IV and got me back going. It was like, you got to drink during the day. You need to drink water during the day. Oh, drink a Gatorade too, because it's got
Yeah.
electrolytes in it. And you can sip on the Gatorade all day long. I'll drink about 3 Gatorades during the day when it's super hot outside. And, so it stay hydrated. Uh, Make sure you got ice and water and
Yeah.
whatever you need to keep you guys hydrated. And also, I've had guys that we worked 2 hours, 2 or 3 hours from home, and they got dehydrated and had to take them to the hospital a couple times.
Yep.
I've had
Uh,
guys pass out and fall down and like fall backwards because they got dehydrated. Had to call the ambulance one time
yeah.
and have them come pick him up. His
It,
first day on the job.
No way. Well,
Yeah.
it's serious business, and as a matter of fact, you should make your team, if they're employees, stop. Hey, drink some water. But I'll give you my regiment for water during the summer. Luckily, the place that I'm renting my podcast for and stuff like that, if I do have to go out and do consulting in the summer, they've got an ice machine. So if you have an ice
Yeah.
machine at your place, man, your employees should really be thanking you. But what I do is I would take my water cooler home, and on during the week or weekend, I would make sure that I had two 1 gallon jugs, Rubbermaid tea pitchers that had filled up with water, put them in the freeze, and let them freeze solid. It takes about 2 days to do this, and then on Sunday night or Saturday, if I could catch it, I'll take one of those and actually put it in there, or possibly even both. Let them freeze or let them melt just a little bit in the cooler. So I've got two now half frozen things and really, really cold water. And then on Monday morning, I would put another 1.5 or 2 pitchers if it was frozen down. So now I have huge chunks of solid ice that will
Mhm.
last me in Texas weather till Wednesday, and then I just do it again because they're already frozen. I do know people that just do the whole thing with ice, and I did that 20 years ago. I would just stop by the store and grab a bag of ice, but now I just did that. It's cheaper, it's faster, it's a whole lot quicker than making a trip to the convenience store every day. Because one, you're going to buy a Snickers bar, you're going to buy something else, and then the time to go over it. So it's a lot cheaper to do that.
Yeah.
And all you have to do is freeze it, and then in the morning, right before you get in the shower, just take it out, and it'll actually melt a little bit, and then you can pour them
Mhm.
out. Because most of the times they're so frozen because they're expanded, you can't just
Yeah.
pour them out. And then the second trick that I've learned is buy powdered Gatorade. That way, the powdered Gatorade stays good forever, right? Keep it in your truck. You can buy it by the gallon like this. They generally don't sell that in the stores. So I would buy it off of Amazon. And the trick with Amazon, just to FYI, is buy them in packs of four. Because if you don't buy it in packs of four, they'll send you an individual one and they always get crushed. But if you buy it in
Mhm.
the pack of four, it comes in the factory box and won't get damaged. So those are my tricks. In addition to that's for hydration. In addition to, I always carry a canopy with me. I always put
Yeah.
that canopy out. My tools are cool. It gives me a place to
Yeah.
rest in the shade. And then the one thing I've tried to do, but it hasn't really worked out, is take a fan with me, um, and
Oh
then
yeah.
leave that fan out. The one that I bought was a directional fan. It's got it spins up like that, but then just blows it out in a certain direction, and it works really good. But it's so focused, you really have to be within that spot. So
Yeah.
those are some tips and tricks. And by the way, I wear long sleeves and I wear heavy duty pants and solid uh, leather boots. So I have to be really cautious about overheating.
Another thing is too, we start our work early in the morning, so we'll start at 6 a.m. and work till 2 o'clock or 4 o'clock.
Now, do you notice that letting your body temperature warm up to it is a little? like warm up as opposed to just jumping out in the heat seems to like be better for your guys or better for you.
It's all about energy. So when you're in the cooler weather and you're getting the bulk of the work done during the cooler part of the day, you're better off. So um, that's what I do. Is we focus on. We start doing it super hot. We'll start at 6 a.m. at the shop, go to the job site, knock some work out, and it starts getting about 12, 1 o'clock. All right, things start winding down a little bit, and we're doing stuff that taking more breaks, getting out of the sun.
Yeah.
You know, and
I wanted to go back to these real quick. We're talking about photo eyes. Pat was saying high securities do that, and I would assume that he's talking about the beep. I'd be curious how long they've been doing that because I've been preaching it forever, and I always like to be the first one that gives the
maybe
idea.
maybe we can come up with a buzzard ourselves, man. Let's,
Yeah, we could. You could run it through the normally open, normally close, like just power it off the accessory power,
yeah.
and then run it through the normally open, normally
Whenever
closed.
have it buzzing the whole time until you get it lined up and it quit buzzing.
Something like that. But however, if you put it on the manufacturer's control board, right? First of
Hmm.
all it is editing the software. It has nothing to do with any new hardware because the buzzard's already on there and the circuit's already tied into the microprocessor or CPU. But here's the other benefit of having like an external relay or doing some kind of modification like
Hmm.
that, hardware modification, is imagine this. How many people, how many customers do you have that say, well, we're just putting this gate in to keep pedestrian traffic out, right?
Yeah.
So in your industrial applications, what you could do is have that feature on full time. So anytime that that photo eye is busted, they know beep, they know somebody's walking through it or driving through it. So now, could you do that off a external relay or something like that, or tie that into that?
I
Yeah,
believe
but
you can tie it in
well, yeah,
to a buzzard,
you could
and
tie
every
it
time
in,
it
but
went off, every time the went off, it'll go off. Bleep
yeah,
bleep.
you could tie it to a buzzer, but it already has the hardware on there. Well, you know the low battery beep and the beep if
Yeah,
there's
that's what I was
trouble in
saying.
traffic?
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Hmm.
already has that on there. So just change the software to actually do this. So, Pat, tell me how long the slide drivers have been doing that. And then we had another comment. The Omrons have a very audible click and seems that lines up perfectly when you're hitting the reflector. Yeah, but that's just a relay. The relays all have, they're not doing that as a benefit to the installer to get it to line up. But yeah, you're right. Cody, you're right. Some manufacturers' relays are a little bit better than others. And by the way, if you guys don't recognize this, look at a control board and see how many Omron relays you have on that. They're the master at relays. So they cost about twice as much as big temperature changes in my area. The IRB RET2 and the LiftMaster photo eye get pulled out of alignment. Have you ever had heat get your physical uh, photo eye and a retro reflective installation get out of alignment because of heat?
I've never had that issue. Only issue I had is like when the sun set directly into the photo eye and it caused it to get an interruption. Not because it like heated and it kind of like twisted. I never had nothing like that.
Yeah, I haven't either. So instead of a buzzer on the control board, why don't the eyes have a program mode with a laser? Then you can physically see your beam. The problem with that, Jeremy, is several of them already have that. And it really, in my opinion, the laser, all it does is the final installation to make sure you're dead center on that reflector, but not for the alignment part. Well, it is for the alignment part, but not for getting it to where it hits the reflector. So that laser on the red twos, until you're in that three circle beam, that laser is pretty much ineffective. If you do anything more powerful than that, you're going to be burning somebody's hand. So the laser, you're right about the laser, but the problem is laser for me is only effective when I'm down here to make sure that that laser is center dialed in. That's the only time that I use the laser. What
Yeah.
about you, Robert?
I don't never use the laser.
Yeah, I just use it to dial it in.
Yeah.
However, I did forget about those special glasses that will allow you to see the laser in daytime, and I always wanted that for my laser level for when I'm installing LA 500s or when I used to install LA 500s. Jeremy says he puts photo eyes 3 foot up. It covers all vehicles, including big trucks. In my opinion, 3 foot up would never cover a semi truck. It just the whole underneath the whole bed, you could hit
Yeah.
any kind of spot that has holes in it or
Yeah.
whatever of the
4 foot,
frame.
5 foot, 6 foot
Yeah,
is a good,
I do them.
yeah.
I don't know what UL or ASTM is,
Um,
but I always do mine at 24. I think it's like 18 to 28 inches or something like that. So I always
yeah.
do mine at 2 feet, and then if I want one
Mm.
higher, I put it 5 feet.
Well,
So
we're almost at the two. We're at the 2 hour mark.
I think that's the
So
longest one we've done, and we've got
yeah.
3 people watching. I bet two of them are lawyers, and one of them still may be a manufacturer.
You know
So
what? Since we hit the 2 hour mark,
is it
um,
sponsor time? I just want to tell you guys about the great taste of Doc.
you know, you know what time it is.
Oh, is it time
I'm
for a
gonna sing
spill?
a song to you.
All right, make it good and make it short too, because we got 3 people watching and we want to keep them. So it better be in tune and good. And so while he's singing
It's
that,
not gonna
guys,
be in tune.
all right, while he's singing that, I'm going to go through some of these chat things and we'll talk about it when he's done.
That's all, folks.
Oh, are we done?
Yeah, leave my long hair country for alone. Yeah,
Hell,
there you go.
you used to be a long hair country boy too. Now you goddamn went city on me as soon as I started growing
Yeah,
mine out.
I got professional, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. Anyways, that was a brief intermission for y'all to get up and go to the bathroom. It was
Yeah,
unexpected, but definitely welcome. So let's see, real quick. E3, Audible Click, IRB, RE2. There was that link For the Optex, you could probably just click in the reply or
Yeah.
comments and see that. Jeremy said SAS in Dallas has a manufacturer that makes a black steel cover that'll go over the E3Ks and cover up the ugly yellow. So I mentioned that earlier. They have a cover for it. Um, I know. Uh, I know EMX had a cover for theirs, and they're the same housing. But you can also find pedestals that are that will protect the photo eye and all that stuff as well too. Torsion or excuse me, TORXUN.com actually has a pedestal that you could put that and other photo eyes in as well too. Excuse me. If you
Yeah.
don't go, if you don't have to go back, it's worth it. So I'm not sure what that was, but James, I appreciate you commenting. Good old Texas boy right there, getting it done. Spend it up front so you no callbacks. That's when we were talking about the RSL.
Yeah.
Evers, what warranty you offer on that LA 400 package?
Um, I don't offer a warranty per se. I offer workmanship. Um, factory warranty if there's failure from the factory, but other than that, no. I mean, I'm doing a basic package, so that means no warranty. That means nothing.
So
That means like as is, but the factory has warranty. My workmanship is that it's put together well. Where what I do and my company doesn't come back on us that we've installed it correctly. Um, I'm not big on the warranty stuff.
yeah, tell me about it. I know a couple other people that are just like that, and I can't say that I agree with them. My with my company, and we've had zero problems with it. We offered for the most part, but we also didn't have um, a package that prevented us from offering this warranty. So we didn't have like a gate operator that only had a 1 year manufacturer warranty. All of our stuff, for the most part, there were one or two that would only offer a 2 year warranty, but we rarely would install those. And actually, you know what? We would modify our warranty for that anyway. So for a
Mm,
typical installation, our parts warranty is full covered with labor for 1,126 days. In addition to that, whatever the manufacturer's warranty is, we would cover. We would extend that if you actually did scheduled service on it. So, for instance, if you did quarterly scheduled service, we would warranty that as long as
yeah,
the manufacturer was making parts for it and they were we had language, I can't remember what it was, but if the manufacturer didn't go up 700% in that part, they
mhm,
still made it and you were still getting your scheduled service. For the most part, we would continue to warranty it forever
yeah,
because we always made money up on the back end. We had lifetime weld warranty, and then we had lifetime free gate safety for kid classes. So, did that allow me to sell anymore? I can't tell you because I did not track and measure it. But that's what our warranty is, and I've been told by several people that I look up to and admire to get my haircut, but also to that just issues that just has a big liability for your company to do that.
yeah,
So I never found it a liability. I never had to go back and warranty something that I did not feel ethically obligated to. If the
yeah,
customer calls me up and says, "Hey, my limits are out of position," 3 months later, I'm not questioning that. Now, if he does that every month for 6 months in a row, either I have a defect, provided it's
yeah,
not a defect, then we have another issue. But I'm not telling any
yeah,
homeowners association, any apartment complex or anything like that, like this is going to cost warranty. Now, there are
yeah,
some things that you have to do in order to be do diligent with that. For instance, if you think somebody's messing with the limit switches or maintenance is messing with the limit nuts or something, mark the limit nuts, take picture, take video, do that. There's no going to be getting no way around that. If the property has 15 other apartment complexes and you service them all, replace the damn gate operator if you have to, because you're making it up on 14 other complexes. And I
Mm,
had 14 complexes on one street. So
mm,
you just have to use your best judgment on that.
yeah.
So thanks for that information, Jeremy, on the SAS stuff. So for
Yeah,
the most,
man.
you're not doing any warranty because it's price specific, right?
Yeah.
Gotcha. So
Yeah.
that's
And
fair.
now on my other stuff, if something happens, yeah, I'm warranty my stuff when I just put it in and getting it working right. But if something breaks from the factory, they still got to pay my labor because I don't offer that. That labor's got to be paid.
Yeah.
There's no
I
free
mean,
labor.
if your margin's 20%, gotta do it. If your margin's 100% across the whole thing, maybe that's a different story. But on single family residentials is where you, in my opinion, you have to be most careful about that. Because if that person's not referring 3 or 4 people to you every year, then you have to be cautious with that. But
Yeah.
if it's a referral machine, like I've had several customers. I had one customer, I didn't raise his rates the whole time he was a customer.
Well,
He was paying $120 an hour
mm,
for like 7 years straight.
that LA 400 I put up a
Uh-huh.
month ago, they referred their neighbor. Now their neighbor ordered one. So
So there you go.
there you go.
Uh, 180-foot double wide tailbox frames is the largest I put in. Damn, Jeremy, you had to like not only go double, you almost had to go triple above the one I was saying
Man.
was the longest one. Hey, Jeremy, I need you on the podcast, man. And when you come on, I need you to um, supply me pictures of that because we'd
Yeah, I
love to
want
see
to
that.
see that. That's pretty cool.
Pat was bringing up a good point, which I do not carry on my truck. T handle Allen wrench.
Yeah.
So for
Yeah.
LiftMaster Photo Eyes or anything with the Allen wrench,
Hmm.
that would be great. I don't
That's
know
a
if you
good
guys
one.
have seen them. I've never used it, but there's a manufacturer that with the Allen wrenches, it's actually inset into a handle. So you can take the Allen wrench out and put it in the handle a certain way, and it acts as a T
Yeah.
handle. So, oh, we got some hydration techniques. Pickle juice and water. Have you ever heard that?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
That's because you got that. You and James is about as country as people I've ever know. So y'all got that voodoo stuff going on. Pickle
Well,
juice and water.
yeah. Well, we're known for pickles in North Carolina. So
Oh, are you?
yeah, Mount Olive factories right here in North Carolina.
Oh, cool. James is out there in Fort Worth, Texas. So he says winters kill him. And same thing. If
Hmm.
you're dressed for it and prepared for it, the only thing that I have to worry about in winters in Texas is icy conditions,
Yeah.
because I rarely do that. All it takes is one mess up, and you're out of work for a month with your truck being wrecked. So that's that. I believe since this is Pat, I believe since 2018 they have photo eye alignment mode on the control board. Good. Well, they might have beat me to that because I have complaining about that for a long time, but I'd actually have to go back
Yeah.
and maybe watch some videos or something to see if I've said that um, about the photo eye buzzer. Show that silky smooth operator hair. I did, and trust me, I'm not happy. I was telling Susan from Fence Workers Association, and Heather from Mr. Fence Academy,
Yeah.
and Dusty's wife. I can't remember. They're out in Longview, Texas. Last week, I was like, I could tell none of y'all are my friends because you haven't told me to cut this hair because it looks ugly as hell. But
Hey,
anyways,
Amber
hey,
don't like it. I can go ahead and tell you that right
oh, she doesn't.
now.
Well,
She, every time you do one of them crazy pictures, I show her. She's like, "What's he do that for?"
I'll try to pull one of those up. Yeah. No, I actually, man, I'm gonna cut it at some point in time. Hopefully, I'll grow it out for another 6 months, maybe to the end of
Yeah.
the year, and then I won't ever do it long again. Now, I will tell you this: right before I was heading to Texas, this girl in the grocery store, she goes, "I love that hair." I was like, I love you. So, anyways, yes, James is right, 2 foot and 5 foot. So 24 inches and 48 inches for the photo eyes. And he said welder. Good night, fellas. All right, Gary Howell Jr., he's out of here. Still here. James Dunn. Oh, he heard you singing. He stuck around. He wanted to hear that karaoke. Pantene Pro V. Evan said that on one of my other things. Let's see. Number one top hits. What song was that you sang?
Long hair country boy.
Shit. Now the
Charlie
second.
Daniels.
Oh, Evan's wanting another 2 hours. All right, we're
Oh
gonna have to find
God.
some sponsorship. Hey, man, if any of you guys are fence installers or you guys are looking to hire somebody, I mean, hell, we'll take sponsorship for you as well too. I mean, if you need to find somebody, you'd be surprised in your areas. Sometimes there's people moving from one state to the next. You might not even know about. So, but if you got distributors or manufacturers that you got good connections with, and you think some of this information is helpful, yeah, I mean it's super inexpensive to advertise with us, although we are particular about who we're advertising with, which is probably why we've turned down a couple of so far.
Yeah.
Let's see. Do y'all offer packages on scheduled service or just basic for every 6 months? On what kind of schedule? This was Cody Greer. Hopefully, Cody's still on there because this was just a minute ago. It's about 7 minutes ago. So, what do you do? Do you have a scheduled service program, Robert?
When they call, because I don't. We've tried and tried and tried and tried and tried. It just doesn't work where I'm at. They don't want to do a service. I had one guy call me. He said, man, anytime you ride through here, just come check my gate. Just let me know. I had one guy do that. But most of them just don't want to pay any money towards the gate. They think that I got to pay one time and that's it. And
Yep.
then they wait until the chain's dragging the ground. It's wobbly, whatever. They don't grease it, the chain or whatever. Don't grease the hinges, and then you got to go out there whenever to service it to get it back going. So I don't know. I don't know right now. It's kind of hard.
All right. Well, we're going to do it. Let's do a podcast, or a show. I'm not calling them podcasts. Let's do a show just on scheduled service, because I think that's where a lot of installers are having a hiccup, and there's a lot of money there, especially in apartment complexes. Apartment complexes and commercial properties, the way that they look at their budget is they have to or they should spend every last dollar that they have in their budget. If you think that they're going to make an effort to save the company, the corporate office money, unless they own the corporate office, they are not. The way that their budget works is if they spend too little one quarter, spend too little the next quarter, or under budget, under budget, under budget, corporate office is going to look at it. They already have a computer program that figures it out and says, oh, well, you don't need $5,000 a month. You need $4,500 a month. And then if you don't spend that much, oh, you only need 4,000. And then what's going to happen 6 years later? You're going to need all that shit replaced, and you're going to be over budget and screw
Yeah.
somebody else out of their bonus. So you need to understand that there is money out there that's not being spent. If it's not going to be spent on the gate, it's going to be spent somewhere else, but it is going to be spent. So take advantage of that. Same thing with even individual residents. So in my market in Dallas Fort Worth, I knew the total net worth of my ideal customer. I knew total disposable income. I know net income of the household, and I knew net income of that zip code, and then all the averages of key data points in those zip codes where I was marketing from. As a matter of fact, that's why I was marketing in those zip codes, is because I'm of the opinion that in certain markets, you have to have a house, a net income, and a net worth and disposable income up to a certain point to where you can actually afford to maintain and have an automatic gate on your property. We're lucky in Texas where I could just drive down the street and see gate operator in the back of the house, gate operator in front of the house. And I'm
Yeah.
like, bam, that's my ideal customer. And I could do that for every house in 2 or 3 zip codes. In my service area, there are actually 5 zip codes in that Dallas Fort Worth area that actually matter to me, but I didn't want to drive 50 miles to start doing service. So you have to have all of that stuff factored into your scheduled service. Man, postcards, if you can get away with getting a solicitor's permit and go door to door, or even depending upon what your city regulates, just go up to anytime you do a service, go to all the houses around that and walk up and down and hit a postcard on that door. And you would be surprised at that right price, which really for an individual service call should be 250, 399, 450, depending upon what you do and what type of gate operator it is. I think we even have them cheap as 199 for like a Patriot, LA 400, LA 500, because you're really just blowing out the box and all that stuff. But yeah, scheduled service is something that you guys should be doing. And if you were listening to this podcast afterwards, still put into the comments if you feel that that's something you would want to talk about or not.
Yeah, we need to talk about that on the next podcast about service.
All right. Well, I'll go ahead and get a flyer for it ready. Sorry, my laptop is blowing some heat on my sleeping pills, so I better get them over here. What you say? What you say? You ready?
The king of operators, Mr. Michael Brooks. The other king on the East Coast, Mr.
Yes.
Robert Everett.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Peace
sir.
out, y'all.
All right, man. Thank you guys for watching. And this is one half of Two Smooth Operators signing off.